I'm Michael Moggerman, for those of you that don't know me. I teach social studies for 10th and 11th graders, and I'm part of the intervention team that has brought you the Mindfulness Thursdays and several other programs this year. And we're at the point in the year where we're reflecting on what we've done and why we've done it. And so I'm here just to talk a little bit about why we've been doing mindfulness all year and why I specifically have gotten involved. I am a huge believer in the idea that you need to know yourself. Self-awareness can help you to lead a much more fulfilling life, and to close that gap between the person that you are and the person that you want to be. In order to do that, you need to really gain an intimate knowledge of yourself and who you are and how you react to certain situations and what kinds of things set you off. And that's a big part of what we're doing here, because you guys go through your day and you're in one room learning about history, and then okay, now bell rings, go to another room, learn about math. Bell rings, go to another room, learn how to write. Bell rings, go to another room, do some art. And it can feel very compartmentalized, and it can also feel like we're flooding you with all this subject matter, but where are we teaching you how to function within yourself? Where are we teaching you how your brain works? And for me, that's really important, is to have a more holistic, a place where a more holistic discussion happens. We have more knowledge about ourselves and the way our body works than any species in the history of the planet. And what are we doing if we're not taking advantage of that, if we're not learning about how our brains work and how that affects our thoughts and how that affects our emotions? And so for me, that is crucial, because as I've gone through life, things in life haven't changed. There's still things that really make me angry. There's still things that really make me happy. There's still times when I'm frustrated and I have no idea why. But what changes is not what life throws at us. What changes is our ability to see within ourselves and know how we react to these things, and our ability to change our reactions. I'll go into U.S. history teacher mode for a second. We talk a lot about freedom in this country. The most basic, fundamental form of freedom is the ability to have freedom to choose how you react to situations. Because if you're just operating on autopilot, if you're just moving from reaction to reaction in your life, no other form of freedom, external freedom, makes any difference. So for me, it's very important that we've been looking at how do I function, how does my brain work. Here's the bright, colorful schedule for all the mindfulness lessons this year. Thoughts, emotions, kindness, compassion, and gratitude. These are all things that we say we value. None of us get up in the morning and think, man, I'm going to be a really cruel person today. I'm going to make some people around me feel uncomfortable. I'm going to blow some other people off, and yeah, that'll be good. We all wake up in the morning hoping to have a day that's where we experience kindness with our friends, where we have some fun, where we engage in some activities or some situations that make us feel happy, that we're happy to have been part of that. We have some gratitude. And so all of these lessons this year are built towards cultivating that. And the format may have seemed weird to some people, to some students, to some teachers. It's uncomfortable. And that's a big part of what we do, not just in the mindfulness lessons, but as teachers. You grow when you're uncomfortable, when you get out of your routine, when you're really in the moment and examining things. And so it was probably uncomfortable this year. I know for me there was moments where it was uncomfortable. For my students there were moments when it was uncomfortable. But I have seen them value what we've been doing. And I have seen a noticeable difference as I look around this building. It's hard to put your finger exactly on it, but the pace seems a little bit slower. I've seen people be a little bit kinder to each other than I have in the past. And if all we did this year was to create 20 minutes out of the day where we pause, where there's less activity, where there's not such a structured focus of academics, just a pause to be still and be with ourselves. If that's all we've done, then that's a wildly successful in my book. But I think that this practice has been very beneficial for me personally and for my students.